Hey guys, okay, I'm on hold with the planning and development office at in my town because they want to do a smoke test in the storm drain system, which somehow makes smoke come up through the basement or through the chimneys or the roof. And I guess they do this. They're looking to test for something that's contaminating the little small beach down the street. So I don't want smoke in my house, though. I don't know what's in the smoke. They say it's non-toxic, but how do I know it's non-toxic? So these three guys stopped at my house right before I was taking my cat out to the vet, and it was the most perfectly bad timing. But one thing I didn't like about this one guy was I said, "Yeah, have you heard of Agent Orange?" And he goes, "Yeah, I sprayed it." And he was all like happy and proud of himself for spraying Agent Orange, and I didn't like that. That made me nervous. That made me think this guy would just be told what to do, and he would do anything bad for the community and just think it was okay and not think, you know? Something just isn't right about this. So this is supposed to happen between October 21st and October 31st, which is right around the corner. That's like next week. And, oh, they said if smoke is going to come up through the house, they would warn me so that I can get out of the house. So I have to get kicked out of my own house. What if I'm sick? What if Lily's sick? And also, I have a cat. I don't want smoke in my house of unknown contents. So I'm not happy about this whole thing. Also, I have to go to the planning board meetings, and he says he's been talking about this.
Bill Mayfar speaking. May I help you?
Hi, this is Deb Director calling. Are you one of the guys who stopped by my house?
Yes, Deb, it is, yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk to you more about this. I see that I read the paper that you left me. Yeah. And it says you're planning to do this in October, this month, which is
sometime. The plan was to do it sometime within the next 2 weeks. It's kind of, well, we don't know exactly the day. It's kind of weather dependent. We try to pick a cloudy day.
Why cloudy?
Only because we can't see the smoke if it comes out of a drain pipe or anything like that. It's just harder to see, that's all.
Well, my concern is the timing of it too. I would rather this, first of all, I don't want to have it done to my house, but second of all, it's could be really cold, and I want to open up my house and let the smoke out, and I think it's better to do it in the spring or the summer where I'm able to do that without losing money on my heat bill.
Well, it would only be actually ideally, nothing's going to happen in your house at all. Let me, what we're testing for is what we call a cross connection. So if there is a cross connection, then there's a possibility that some of that smoke would, first of all, it would come up through your plumbing vent, so it really wouldn't enter the home. It would just go up harmlessly up through the vent pipe, that exits on your roof. And if there isn't a problem, nothing's going to happen at all.
So you mean you would see the smoke coming out of my vent pipes?
At your vent pipe, yeah. There might be, depending on, how your house is laid out, there might be 1, 2, or 3 of them that exit up through the roof. And if there was a cross connection, that's where we would see it on that. And that's only if there was. In most of these houses, we're probably not going to get anything at all. But there may be. What we're hoping to find, and what we anticipate finding, if we're lucky, we're going to be able to find a source, is that we think it may be some old abandoned, drainage system, and we have a pipe that comes up through somebody's yard or something like that. That's what we're kind of hoping for.
But what would that mean exactly?
Well, what it would mean is that if we did see the smoke, what it's going to tell us is that there's a possibility that there's a cross connection between your sewer system and the storm drainage, and that would be one of the sources of the contamination that's going into the storm drainage system and then going down to Goody's Beach. Because we've done this has been going on for about, do you have a couple of minutes? I'll give you the background.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right. About 2 years ago or so, approximately, this Rockport signed up for what's called the Healthy Beaches program. It's a testing program where at least once a week while the beach is open, they perform a water test. And basically what they're testing for is the fecal contamination at the water.
Mm-hmm.
And what that showed when we did that test is that we were getting some pretty high levels. And when you get a level, we look for, this is kind of, might not mean much, but if the level goes above 104, then we would post a warning saying that, please be advised that there's some contamination here. And so we became part of that program. And as a result of that, we started to ask questions, geez, where is this coming from? Because at some occasions, the test results, they came up pretty high. The numbers were well above 104, and so we started to backtrack and find out where this could possibly be. And about a year ago, the EPA came in and they did some testing, some real crude testing on 2 or 3 areas, in and around Goodies Beach, and they found pharmaceuticals in the stormwater. And what that means is, things like acetaminophen or caffeine, nicotine, and a couple of other chemicals. And that would mean that there's a human source, in other words, for that contamination. And up until that point, we were kind of thinking that some of the source of the contamination was, it could have been, from dogs, there's a wetland area up above, things like that, which typically what you would think of. But when we found the pharmaceuticals, it kind of said, geez, something else is going on.
You mean pharmaceuticals? Sorry, I want to make sure I understand. No. So I might interrupt a little bit. But you found pharmaceuticals broken down in the water at the beach?
No, what we're finding is that, yes, at the storm drain, at a number of points, we're finding pharmaceuticals. And we're finding them at the outfall at Goodies Beach and also at the storm drains on Pascal Avenue. Like somewhat in front of your house, there was 3 storm drains that were checked. And
wait. Between my house and the water, there are 3 storm drains?
In front of your house on the road. On the road there, yeah. So,
wait. What did you see in front of the house on the road?
In front of your house, in that area, general area, there's 1, 2, 3 storm drains, and they tested at each of those points, and they found concentrations of pharmaceuticals. So what that tells us is that it's coming from up above.
Up above, because I'm toward, so they would be flowing down the hill. Yeah, it would be coming from the hill above me down, and then you're seeing it.
Absolutely, and that's why, in your area, in the houses on the other side of Pascal where you are, the chances of anything happening there are extremely low. More than likely, it's coming up from somewhere up above there. But because everything gets connected in the storm drain system, we're notifying everybody.
So what does the pharmaceuticals in the water have to do with? Well, I'm assuming it comes from people taking pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, it does. What it means is that when we pick that up, what it means is that it's being flushed through, the human system. It's going out. It's got to come from someone's affluent, someone's, it's going through their system, so it's coming out through the waste,
Would this be pharmaceuticals that had come through the human body into the waste, or directly into the waste, something like a flush down the toilet?
It's what they call, I'm going to get the word wrong, it's metabolized. In other words, it's something that gets flushed out through our kidneys or liver or whatever.
So it comes through human...
Like somebody dropping them in the water.
Okay, wow, and they can detect that, they stay intact that well? Oh my God.
Yeah, we didn't do the test. I just want to backtrack a little bit. This past summer, in June, I believe, the EPA came back and did some extensive testing, and that's where they picked up, before they did a quick and dirty test at, I think, 3 spots. This time, I believe they tested 9 areas, and the results of that, we kind of pinpointed what we think is like the locus of where it's concentrated. And so we know it's coming, we think, somewhere from Upper Pleasant or Amesbury Hill down to this area.
Yeah, but a lot of people, tons of people take all different kinds of...
I know.
Yeah.
These are things that, I would say in just about every... I'm up close to 60, and, anybody in my age group, we probably take at least 2 or 3 of those drugs that were picked up. It's pretty typical stuff, on that.
Was it like Tylenol type ibuprofen?
Well, acetaminophen, nicotine, caffeine. There were three other drugs that one was a compound in like the people that have asthma that take inhalers. There was another. There were two that were kind of like heart medications you would probably take for like high blood pressure, and then there was another one was an anticonvulsant kind of medication. Someone that might have seizures or something like that.
But what my question is that stuff, okay, is obviously normal. A lot of people use those things. So is the problem that it's? I don't get how the problem is. Those things are bad for the beach, or yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that we should not be picking that up in the storm drains. The problem is that if people flush it out through the system, through the toilet or whatever, that should be confined just to the sewer system only. And when we're finding it in the storm drain, it means, gee, somehow there's a connection here. Somehow that's why I'm using that word cross connection.
So there's a problem within the pipes below, under the ground.
Absolutely, yeah. And what the smoke test does is that we send it into the storm drains, and if there is a cross connection, we're going to see it seep up through the sewer somewhere.
But that would indicate a leak. That would be a leakage that was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it was coming up above ground, not necessarily between the pipes, though.
Well, this is where it gets awfully tricky. It could be they had already went in and tested the sewer system. What they did is they ran dye in the sewer system to see if it came out of the outfall pipes at Goody Beach.
Right.
And nothing came out. So we know it's not. We know for sure it's not in the sewer pipes. But what we're speculating is one of two things is happening. There is some sort of crack in a sewer pipe that's near its storm drain and it's seeping in, or there's an old cross connection that we're not picking up, somebody's property that could have been there for 100 years, or the other possibility is we've got some old pipe system that was there for 100 years and it's leaching out for some reason or something. We're really at the point where we don't know where to trace this down to, and this is like one of the only tools that we have.
But what I'm wondering is are those things, the nicotine and the pharmaceuticals and the caffeine, are those? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Are those things? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. So, is the nicotine and the pharmaceuticals and the caffeine things that would cause the algae at the beach?
Oh no. What's causing the algae at the beach is basically there's algae at the beach, and most of that algae is not. We're not considering that a problem. What we're considering a problem is the fecal count. So we know that the fecal count is coming. That could be from effluent, from a cross connection to a sewer, or it could. Some of that is natural. When I say natural,
maybe it's from the boats. How do you know it's not from the boats?
Well, they test in the harbors already. They are doing tests in the harbor. So when I say natural, if we took a test, even if this was undeveloped land, and we took a test out of a stream coming out of the undeveloped land, we would pick up some fecal counts because there's animals out there. And there's nothing we could do about that.
And what about the boathouse right there? I mean, there's toilets right there at the beach.
The one at the marina there.
At the harbor, you've got that. Yeah, you've got those bathrooms right there. I mean,
those have been tested. There's nothing coming out of there. That's all. That's when I said we did the dye test for the sewer system. We know it's not from our sewer, and we know it's coming right at Goodies Beach. There's an outfall pipe that dead ends there, and it's coming out of there. We know it's coming out of that outfall pipe, and we've picked it up further upstream on those not manholes, the catch basin areas. So we know we can trace it from the outfall pipe at the beach to the manholes, and then when we know the manholes, we know upstream there's flows that come, like I said, Pleasant and Amesbury. So we know it's coming down from there in some manner, shape, or form.
So my house isn't on that line.
No. We're just kind of doing our due diligence and notifying everybody.
Okay, but I mean, it sounds like my house isn't actually on that track of your concern.
It's not. But you know, the reason we're notifying everybody is that, you know, these storm drains, there's, you know, this area has been developed for, you know, quite some time, and there's pipes in there in the ground. Who knows? You know what I mean? And things that people thought were unconnected. You know, who knows? Maybe something's connected that shouldn't be, and this will tell us if that's, you know, the smoke test will tell us if we have one of those situations. But we just want to be on the safe side and tell everybody that could be possibly affected. Because we told the people down below you, like at Harborview and Ship Street there, and they're again, they're not, you know, they're like you, they're on the other side of this. But
yeah,
we just want to make
well,
sure.
Well, can't you just do the smoke test where instead of doing everybody, especially people like me who really are nervous about that kind of thing, and I mean, I already have health issues that I'm constantly battling. I don't need to add anything.
Well, you know, Deb, let me do this. I have somebody coming in, so I can't continue the conversation much longer. But I do want to talk to you more about this. So can we set up a time like Monday, if possible?
Sure.
Yeah. I just got somebody waiting for me, and I was out most of the morning, and my days kind of got pushed out, and I've got people here.
Yeah, that's
Can
fine.
we just set up a time, and do you want to come into the office, and would that be more comfortable for you, or up to you?
Well, I'll think about.
I'm gonna pull my calendar out.
Okay.
But hold on for a second. Let me just get this. If I don't look at my calendar, I'm at that age where I start forgetting everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hang on. I got the wrong day. No, I don't. But I tell you what, Monday looks pretty good. So I'm at your beck and call. What's convenient for you?
Well, why don't we?
If you want, you can give me a ring in the morning too, if you want.
Yeah. Okay. What I'll do is I'll call you. I'll call you around 10 maybe. I usually do my workout in the morning, and I can. Yeah.
All right, and that way we can spend a little more time talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's sometimes easier over the phone, you know. It's
I still want to be. Like I mean, if my house was, you know, directly in line with that, but if it's not, then I think less is more. You know, you don't need to.
And Deb, you know, when we'll make a special effort to let you know and stuff like that, so you could be out of the house.
I know, but then after I'm out of the house, I still would be worrying about that stuff in my house.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm going to ask Steve to give us the specs on the smoke, and I've done this before.
I mean, why don't you guys do it during a different time of year when it's not cold?
Well,
you know,
actually, this is the best time of year to do it. The fall kind of this. We try to do it on a cloudy, cool day. It flows better on that. We have to. I can explain that when we talk on Monday. We can have a little more time to go through that.
Okay. Well, if I find out that it's okay for me to not do this, then I might choose that because.
Well, you know, it's we're not keep in mind, we're not targeting your house.
I understand, but I just don't.
We're going above and beyond. We want to make sure everybody knows. So.
Well. I'm just saying, if you don't have to do this to the entire system and you can do certain parts of it, then that's better because you don't want people like me getting upset because that doesn't help anybody.
I know. Well, look, hey, I actually do have to run. But,
all right.
Were you going to give me a call Monday morning?
I'll call you. Yeah, we'll call. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe 11.
Just give me a buzz and anytime. I have a meeting here at 8, between 8 and 9. But I'll be free anytime after that.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
I look forward to talking to you
okay.
a bit more.
Talk then. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Come on, phone. Okay, so I think that might have been the guy that sprayed Agent Orange over in Vietnam and thought it was a good thing. So I don't know. I don't want this done. Am I allowed to get out of this? Am I allowed to not have this test? That's what I want to do. Get out of it. And since my house is clearly not on the path of concern. Oh, Jim commented. He knows things. Oh, he's cute. Aw, he's so sweet. Jim said, take care of her. She's a good friend. I miss her. Aw, a darling. Absolutely adore him. I love him. He's the best. He's the best landlord I ever had. So, yeah, this is another person thinking it's a scam. Obviously, it's not a scam, but it's concerning. I wonder what Jim would say. I should call him and talk to him. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, listening. I don't know if I'll post this or not, but onward and upwards. Talk soon. Big kiss.